What's up guys, how you doing today? It's Angry Roleplayer, early in the morning as usual. And guys, today I want you to point out to a very interesting kind of reply from Grinding Gear Games concerning trading in Path of Exile. There was the Q&A session, and in the second part of the session where people basically asked all kind of questions and GGG replied all these questions, it was a very interesting question that actually drew my attention, and it was about how trading impacts Path of Exile. And I'll read all this to you. I'll read the question. With all the talk of trade improvements over the years, but very little concrete to show for it, it's clear that GGG wants to take steps but is being held up by various concerns. What actual goals and restrictions are you guys working with in your efforts toward improving trade? Are there concerns that these goals are even attainable? And then there goes the reply. Being able to trade items is critical to the success of an action RPG. This is why Path of Exile has no item binding, and why SSF items can become regular items with a click of a button. Given that we want trade, the next question is how easy the trade should be. It seems obvious to jump to the answer of as easy as possible, of course, but more care needs to be taken. The easier the trade is, the more trades the traders can perform, increasing the utility that items provide to them. This has a few consequences. The gap between traders and non-traders widens. This gap is apparent when you see feedback that the game is too hard for some people and too easy for others. Most of the time this is proportionate to how much they have traded. Item pricing becomes more skewed towards only very cheap and very expensive. Items either become trivially cheap or unaffordable. If you have ever felt that it's going to take too many 1 sales to finally save up that 80 Exile item you want, this is the reason. Progression is trivialized. While trading for an item to get a leg up on difficult content is of course fine, being able to trivially and cheaply quadruple your clear speed on a whim isn't something that should be expected on a first character in a league. In addition, the fewer item upgrades you make on a character before camping out your items, the lower chance you have of sticking around for a decent portion of the league. Upgrading items more times in smaller steps is more fun than jumping right to the perfect gear. And the existing community tools combined with our public stage tab AP already put us pretty far down this spectrum compared to the old days of trade chart. We already view this as a crisis. This is why we are hesitant to add more convenient features. So, a few things. First of all, the gap between the trading people and the non-trading people is fucking huge. And basically, people who play solo self-found and people who play with trade, they have absolutely different world. When you play with trade, you can basically get all GG gear for 1 orb of alchemy, and solo self-found you may go down to the merciless and go down to the maps and basically never found anything, and still keep on playing and never find there's good uniques that fit your build. So the gap is really strong between people who trade and don't trade, and like they point out, the gap is fucking huge. It's like a fucking giant hole between the trading and non-trading. Trading has too much impact in Path of Exile, and I think it should not be as easy as it is. And second, item pricing. There are two types of items in Path of Exile, like written in this section. Most common uniques and not very popular uniques, they cost like 1 orb of alchemy, which is nothing in this game. You can go and buy, I could go and buy the bones of Ulur for my necromancer for 1 orb of alchemy, like if I played trade. and it would have immediately boosted my damage by a huge fucking amount. But I don't want to do this. I want to find my items myself. I want to work for my items and not fucking buy them for a penny. This is retarded. This is not how I want to progress. And now there are items that worth like fucking million, billions of trillions of exiles, like some legacy cows and all things like that, who have no fucking price whatsoever. The price disparity is dramatic. It's ridiculous. And even though there are many uniques which are pretty useless, and many uniques which are useful, but they're just not popular. Like for example, the belly of the beast is worth like a fucking chaos, even though it's exceptionally strong chest. It's not Kaom's, but still it's one of the best life chests in the game. But it's so much different from the Kaom's. Like Kaom's is worth fucking hundreds of exiles, and the belly of the beast is worth like a fucking chaos on even the orb of alchemy. I saw that it was that's cheap. And on standard league the prices are like retarded. Everything is like worth nothing there. So there's a very, very huge difference between the items that are really sought after and the items that are good, but they're just not as popular as before. And even though they are not common, you may play Solar Self-Found for fucking 100 hours and never get the belly of the beast even. But still it will worth one orb of one couple of chaos orbs, and you could go and buy this immediately. And this, the last thing that is most important, progression is trivialized. When you work for your gear, you feel progression. You really feel the amount of effort you put in the game, and every unique is really unique, and every unique feels rewarding. But when you go and buy all gear you need to go to the end game for free chaos, how interesting can it be? How fun can it be when you just go and buy everything for fucking free chaos? All the fucking gear. I mean, it won't be an end game gear, but it will be enough for you to do like maps, to do to cruise for all the difficulties in the game, which are also trivialized. So basically, all most content becomes trivialized when you go and buy GG gear for so cheap. This is the reason why I play Solar Self-Found. I may have never find this gear that I need for my builds, but the game feels exceptionally rewarding for me, and exceptionally fun. Like I don't lose the fun of this game. It's like in Diablo 3, when they buffed the drop rate and you get like 1,000 legendaries per hour. It's not fun anymore when you get everything so easy, and when you get the same items like 100 more times. And with Path of Exile it's basically the same, but it's all tied to trading. The trading trivialized the fun of the game and trivialized the loot just the same way as the drop rates trivialized in Diablo 3, but it's from different perspective. In Diablo 3 the drop rates are buffed. In Path of Exile the drop rates are the same, I think, and rare items are still exceptionally rare, but with trading it's so much easier to gear for. It's like moon and earth different from Solar Self-Found. That's why I want to say, guys, that Path of Exile has its problems, and I specifically wanted to point out this sentence. We already view this as a crisis. So grinding gear games already sees trading as a crisis in Path of Exile again, because it's so easy, it's so trivializing, and it's so much power creep early in the game till the end of the game. So there's no linear progression. Like only in Soul Self-Found you can have a chance to feel like the real progression in the game. And you know what I like the most about this, that they actually accept this fact, and they actually understand this fact that trading is in a state of crisis in Battlefield Exile. Something must be changed. Unlike Diablo 3, where developers basically are either silent or they think that everything is fucking awesome, and this is it. You see, that's the difference in kind of, you know, attitude to the game, and from the developer's point of view. This is how I see it, and this is amazing that the grinding games acknowledge the problem that the game has. So this is it, guys. I wanted to specifically point out this small portion of the Q&A for you, and let me know in the comment section what you think about the Path of Exile trading, and if you like enjoying Soul Self-Found or not. Let me know this, guys. Thanks for watching. See you soon.